Hi there, and welcome to another episode of Otherwise Words. My name is Mark Herman Lynch, and I am an author and PhD candidate at the University of Calgary in the creative writing program. Right now, it's about 6 in the morning. As you can see here, the sun has already risen. I really love getting up before the sunrise, so I can kind of see it. Also, the roosters here, I don't know if you can hear it. There are a lot of roosters, and they're great at getting me up at around 5:30 in the morning. One of the reasons why I wanted to get up so early was so that I can get my work done, so that later in the day we could go island hopping. The great part about Coulion being a little bit off the beaten path in terms of tourist infrastructure was that we got to hire locals who would take us on their fishing boats out to these different islands. So we got to see Bulog Dos, which was this beautiful sandbar surrounded by turquoise water, filled with fish and coral reefs for as far as you can see. We also went and saw Banana Island and Malcapuya. But yeah, this was another one of the advantages and privileges of being in Coulion. But I really love to, I'm a little sick right now, so I'm a little congested, but I love to start my day off with a little bit of free writing. So I figure I might as well free write to the sound, to the orchestra of crowing roosters behind me. So after a little bit of thought, I think that I'm afraid that of my main project getting a little terse. So my dissertation, it's starting to feel a little terse and it's starting to feel a little academic. And I don't mind that. It's just another tone, right, or a genre. But what I want to do is maybe today I just want to be playful and fun and silly and use this form of non sequitur. I think that might be the best way of doing it. Non sequitur obviously being when something doesn't naturally follow from the other. It feels like a digression or something that is tangent. Family Guy is kind of notorious for that. All their jokes are kind of like not really following the course of the conversation, but the absurdity of the non sequitur that they use is sometimes funny. So let's get into it. Okay, so this is an interesting exercise in essentially just what was I doing here? In just character and voice and sound. It's a little bit of an absurdist short story or piece of flash fiction. I don't know if it's going to go anywhere, but that's not the point of these free writes. The free writes are just free writes. It is the freedom to kind of like just produce and create whatever you like and follow whatever kind of ridiculous paths or interesting paths are interesting to you at that moment. Sometimes I do it in terms of nonsensical juxtaposition, right? So more aleatory. This time I was much more concerned with keeping threads of a story together and trying to kind of like build them so they're cohesive as a whole, and a character goes through some sort of obstacle that leads to change, but he doesn't change. One of the big takeaways that I found of this is playing with. One of the interesting parts of this is that it was playful use of common parlance, which I try to do, and I try to take it from different kind of voice perspectives. So the absurd situation with the wife character hitting the man's legs with their baseball bat in order to collect on a debt. It's not absurd necessarily. It's not that this can't happen, but it's a somewhat absurd or method of getting us into action or forcing somebody to be in a different state, so they have to kind of like uncover change. Typically, I like to kind of be inside the character's head. It's one of my strengths, absolutely, but it's also one of my crutches. And so it's something that I have to think about as I go forward to try to get out of that, always being inside the head, because you want physicality, you want texture around you. And so to get outside of that and to be able to kind of like bring in texture and detail is very, very important. So that's it for me today, and thanks for joining me on another episode of Otherwise Words. I hope to see you again. I mean, I can't see you, but you're there. Ta-ta! Bye-bye!